Welcome to our first conversation. And today is a very special day for me for many reasons, one of which is I get to share this moment, this whole experience with one of my favorite people. His name is Tyler Marchinetti, and Tyler and I have been working together now for two and a half years.
Yeah.
And 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 the reason why we're starting our conversations with four generations at work is because Tyler and I have gone through a lot of experiences together. He's come with me to see the work I do, and he consistently was exposed to comments around we have a really difficult time working with millennials, and millennials saying we're having a really difficult time working with boomers and traditionalists. And so it's just perfect that we start our conversation on this topic that is so close and dear to our hearts.
Absolutely.
Tyler, tell them a little bit about you.
I am 23 years old. I am a recent graduate from the University of Pittsburgh. I studied marketing and human resources. I've been working with Elisabet for about 2.5 years doing consulting with her. I recently made the foray into consumer banking, so that's a huge shift from doing consulting in the student life to now I'm a banker. It's huge. It's different, crazy, a lot going on.
And so we want to make sure that we are going to be offering you tips that come from our heart, from our authenticity, and from the experiences we share. And so here's how it's going to happen. We decided that we're going to use a really important word. Tyler and I were brainstorming around what we wanted to do for you, and it became clear that there was the one word that really helped us be so effective working together, and that was the word patience. And so what we want to help you sort of do as you set yourself to listen to what we want to offer you, our conversation during these months, is to really start to think of patience as a great tool to bring to work for us, boomers and millennials. And so today the first tip is going to be about how is it that patience helped us start to get this experience to a place in which it was and has been so incredibly fulfilling, and it has been really enriching for both. And so I'm going to jump, and I'm going to give you a little bit of my perspective, and then Tyler is going to offer his, and then we'll stop for the day. So patience, in the context of working with Tyler, for me, had to do with, one, listening, observing, getting myself out of the way. It was interesting at the beginning when I thought he wanted less of guidance, and then at the beginning he said, "Elisabet, what would you like me to do?" And I said, "Well, that's interesting. I thought that they wanted more freedom." And so I started to become patient in the interactions between him and I, and it started to create this wonderful experience, place for us to have really good exchanges as to what he needed from me, and then for me to explain to him why I needed certain things from him. And it was done in the context and with the sentiment of being patient with each other. Do you agree with that?
I would absolutely agree with that.
Is that
statement.
what we did? I think so, right?
Yeah, I would say contextually working with Elisabet, coming from being a millennial and coming from everything that I've ever known in school and through college and everything, I would say getting into that mentality that things aren't extremely right now. There's a lot more future setting. There's a lot more forward thinking in the aspect where what's going to happen in the future. I mean, coming from college, it's always instant gratification, and then when you start working with somebody who didn't grow up with that and isn't used to that and doesn't have that sort of expectation with work or life or anything like that, that's where that patience comes in, and you have to think about, like, where is this going to go? What am I doing now that's going to develop into the future project? So just working with her has given me so much more. It's taught me a lot to really, scale back my expectations for this second right now and be patient and understand exactly what's going on, what her perspective is, and where she's coming from with those perspectives based on her own experiences, and then, working with her with my own experiences and
mixing it up together.
Mixing it up. It's just one gigantic thing.
That's exactly how it happened. So I think to his credit, Tyler always had the good question. And I think to his point, his patience to understand that in the world of consulting, in the world that I was offering him, there was a lot of gray areas. And he wanted, a very clear-cut strategy to things, and that's not part of consulting. Consulting is very creative. And so, as we conclude this first topic, and I think we started with exactly what we needed.
Yeah, exactly.
The way it started when we started working together. So we leave you with a little wrap-up. It can be a tremendous amount of fun. It can be a wonderful exchange of knowledge, of good intentions, of quality of work, at the end of the day, of a good day, right? And so, patience. That I have patience, observing, listening, engaging him, and that you have patience with me because
you're from an entirely different school of thought, and your experiences are very separate from my own. So just understanding that those differences don't necessarily have to be obstacles.
And they work, don't they?
And they absolutely
Give me 5.
do.